You highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message. Today I'm going to be talking about Abraham's journey and the allegorical meanings of what that means. Because you know, a lot of people did not really understand the mystery of what has already been recorded or coded for their own learning. If you go into the scripture, there is something that you need to be able to understand about who you are. When you talk about this physical body, it is made up of dust and ashes. And when we go into the scripture, the Bible talked about Abraham. Abraham defined to us who he is. Abraham said that he is nothing but what? Dust and ashes. And you need to be able to understand something. Abraham was somebody who was being made in order for him to plead on behalf of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. But before him pleading on behalf of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, the messengers who came to destroy, to cause a destruction, they said that they have to tell Abraham what their mission is at that time. Because why? Abraham, which is dust and ashes, would advise his children, would tell his children to be able to be upright. Literally to be, you know, the Bible said that I know that Abraham is going to teach his children the way of Yahuwah. So what I want us to be able to understand is that Abraham is somebody who is a just person. When you talk about a just person, just like you see Noah, now you have to be able to really begin to see life in reality of life, and not something which is fictitious, but really start to begin to really see reality for life for what it is. Noah is somebody who in the scripture, just like Abraham, but people did not understand these two words. In the scripture, the Bible says Noah is somebody who is pleasing. The definition of Noah literally is someone who pleases the Most High. The definition of Abraham is someone, a friend of Yahuwah, somebody, a body which pleases Yahuwah. And this is why you need to be able to understand this, is because, why you need to be able to understand this is because these things are already things which are being recorded. When we go into the book of Exodus, which I want us to be able to just see real quick, and also into the book of Genesis. But before we go first, I want us to see into the book of Exodus about something I just want us to see something real quick. Very important. Because you need to be able to really understand who is who according to the scripture. Because that will give you a better understanding of life itself. Now, as a matter of fact, we just have to first of all check on Genesis chapter number 6 from verse number 9. I want us to see something there, because we're talking about Noah and we're going to talk about Abraham. And these are the things that I want you to be able to really sit back and meditate over these things that I'm talking to you about. The Bible says here in the book of Genesis chapter number 6, from verse number 7 through to 9. And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man whom I have created. Now, this is why I tell you that when you go into the book of Genesis, the Bible talked about the man which Yahuwah formed from the dust of the ground and breathed into that man, and man became a living soul. This is from the dust. Now, this man is a just man. Because why? He has the breath of life. He has the breath of Yahuwah in him. And here now the Bible is saying, and Yahuwah said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping things and the fowl of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But Noah, overstand it, but Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah. Now, who is Noah? Because man that the Most High created have gone astray from what his intent over them. Where did he create man from? From the dust, from ashes. Let's go in the book of Genesis chapter number 2 from verse number 7. It says, and Yahuwah formed man of the dust of the ground. So we're talking about dust of the ground. He formed man of the dust of the ground. Not until he breathed into man, that was when man became a living soul. So we go back again in Genesis chapter number 6. The Bible says here in verse number 8, but Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah. This is the man who the Most High found grace. That is literally favor. Noah found favor with Yahuwah. Now, who is Noah? We know that Noah is dust and ashes. Now, this dust and ashes was able, literally, this physical body was able, a certain physical body, which is called Noah, was able to find favor with Yahuwah. So, while the Most High is going to destroy every other body, or every other body whatsoever, this Noah, which is the body Noah, he's going to preserve. Now, what does the Bible say? What does the Bible give us as the definition of who Noah is? Now, remember, the man was made from the dust of the ground. From the dust. Adam is nothing but dust and ashes. Overstand it. Adam is nothing but dust and ashes. Noah is nothing but dust and ashes. Abraham is nothing but dust and ashes. You need to be able to understand these bodies. But these bodies are the ones which are pleasant, which the Most High was preserving. Now here, in verse number 9, is where we are going to know who is Noah. Who is Noah? According to the scripture, because Noah is, and the Bible is going to give us the definition of who Noah is. And in verse number 9, it says, these are the generation of Noah. But who is Noah? Now, these are the generation of Noah. But who is Noah? Noah is dust and ashes. But how did Noah make it, and who is Noah? Now, let's see what the Bible says. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Elohim. Walked with Elohim, and he begat 3 sons. So what you need to be able to understand is Noah is a perfect man. Now, I want you to see how the Bible is being written and revealed. Noah is a just man. Did you quote something here now? Noah is a just man. So you see how the mystery is being coded in that sentence alone. Who is Noah? Noah is a just man. He is not a wicked person. But Noah is a just man. That is who Noah is. Understand the way that you need to be able to really see. Who is Adam? Adam is a just person, a just man, which was being preserved. Who is Noah? Noah is a just man. And listen to what happened here now. So we already see here the Bible already gave us the definition. So now this just man, this is his generation. The generation of this just man began. This just man, which is called Noah. And now along the line, the generation of this just man spread, expanded. And yet, one of his seed, just like Noah bare the seed of his ancestor, Adam, equally, somebody along the line, bloodline of what of this Noah is going to bear the characteristics, the gene. When you talk about the DNA, the behavior of being just man of what of Noah, the same way that Noah bear the DNA of the just person of his ancestors. Noah is a just man. Adam is a just person. Noah is a descendant that comes from Adam. Now, somebody in the lineage of Noah is also just that bear the DNA characteristics of his ancestor. Noah is a just man. And who is that took place? In the when you talk about Ham, Shem, and Japheth and Shem is somebody who through him in another generation, which is a generation of this Noah now, in the generation of Shem, somebody was being born, which is somebody who is called a just person. But this person got his traits, his way of life from his ancestor. And who is his ancestor? Noah, who was called a just man. And who is that descendant that came out or that came forth in the later times? Is Abraham. And now let's see what the Bible say about Abraham, because it's very, very important that we need to be able to really understand these things. Let's see the book of Genesis chapter number 18. We're going to read from, we already know that Abraham came from the descendant of Shem, right? And then we run through and then down. We go through and then we saw what happened to Abraham. Now Abraham received visitors. Other ones did not receive the visitors that Abraham received. Now, the same way that you need to be able to understand what happened to before the destruction, that Noah was being visited, to be told that that dispensation has to be dealt with. And in regards, he was being told, Noah was being told to prepare an ark. To prepare an ark. You see? So now I want you to be able to understand something. Here, we are seeing in Genesis chapter number 18, we're going to read, because this is the visitor of somebody, some people who visited this just man, who is from the descendant of Noah. Because this is now the express image of that person, of that Noah. This is his express image. So we see here now in the book of Genesis chapter number 18, from verse number we're going to read from verse number from verse number 21. Okay, from verse number 20. Just the same thing that happened, almost similar thing that happened during the time when the people of Noah were committing all kind of things, and the Most High had to come. The Malaks, they have to come down in order to cause destruction. But before the destruction, they warned Noah. Now listen to what happened here. And Yahuwah said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, the same thing that happened during the time of of Noah, when they were all doing all kind of things, right? I want you to understand. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. I'm going to go down and see if what they are doing, the cry which came to me, is exactly. So if that is the case, I'm going to know. And the men turned their face from thence and went towards Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before Yahuwah. Abraham now is with a Malak. The other two entered into Sodom. Now listen to what happened. Abraham stood with somebody, was conversing with somebody. Now, who is Abraham? We are going to find out who Abraham is in the scripture itself. The Bible is going to show us and tell us who Abraham is. Here, the Bible says, and Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the city, the righteous, with the wicked? I want you to be able to understand it. Who is Noah? Noah is a righteous person. Noah is a righteous person in his, and perfect in his generation. That was why the Bible says Noah was a just man. A just man and perfect in his generation. In his generation, that dispensation. Noah, somebody who is called Noah, the body which is called Noah, is a perfect, is in his generation was perfect. Is somebody who, this is Noah. Now his descendants have an encounter with the Malak. And this Malak said that they are going to come and be able to do what? And destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And now Abraham is pleading on behalf of the righteous. Abraham is pleading on behalf of the righteous. Understand what happened here. The Bible says, peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? And be far from thee for to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked. So you're not going to, that will be far from you, that for you to be able to slay the righteous together with the wicked. So there has to be a separation between the righteous and the wicked. Now understand what is going on. And the righteous shall be as the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee. That shall not the judge of all earth do right? And Yahuwah said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake. If I'm going to find 50 righteous. Now, this conversation was going between that Malak and understanding and Abraham. Now, who is Abraham? Because when he encountered this particular Malak, this was the time of conversation which he was conversing. But who is this Abraham that is conversing with the ones that visited him? Who is Abraham? Does the Bible tell us who Abraham is? Or did Abraham himself also spoke to us, tell us who he is? According to the scripture, I just want you to be able to really see how the scripture is being coded. Now, here the Bible says, and Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto Yahuwah, which am but dust and ashes. Why would Abraham say such thing? It's because Abraham is telling us the definition. Abraham is giving us the definition of who Abraham is. So who is Abraham? Abraham is dust and ashes that is righteous, that is found righteous in the sight of Yahuwah. Are you getting what is really going on? Who is Abraham? The Most High came, the angels, the Malak came and found Abraham and Lot, right? Which is what, when you talk about when he was already in there. So when Abraham pleaded on their behalf, The Most High said, the Malak said that there's no way that they're going to destroy it. But when these things was going on back and front, now Abraham now gave us and now understand and know who this Abraham is. Is a righteous person. And who is this righteous person? This dust and ashes that is doing what is pleasing to the Most High. That is the dust and ashes. Abraham is dust and ashes. That is doing something which is pleasant to the Most High. And so the Most High was preserving that body. The Most High was preserving, was cherishing that body, like I said, in order to prepare, in order to, take it through a journey, in order to put His word, the breath of life, in what's in the body. So during that time, what you're seeing is what is the preparation and the arrangement through Noah, through Abraham, and through Adam. Then came Noah. From Noah, then came Abraham. From Abraham, then came Jacob. This is still the body that is being preserved. Who is Jacob? Jacob is what is that body which the Most High had prepared. And now in Jacob is where He now put His word, which is what His spirit now came and did enter in what? In Jacob. But before these times, the Most High allowed this particular body, which is dust and ashes, to play things while He guides, while He monitors. And so who is Noah in this our lesson today, or in this our study? Noah is a just man that feareth Elohim. Is a just person. And that is who Noah is a dust and ashes. The body, dust and ashes that feared Yahuwah. And who is Abraham? Abraham, our people, is someone who in his physical body that fears Yahuwah. Who is Jacob? Somebody here who was being sent. And in this particular word, like I said, Jacob is in existence already. And now the word which came into Jacob is now being elevated in order to draw as many as are going to be born of that spirit in the ancient world. Now what I'm saying is, you need to be able to understand when the scripture is talking deep in allegory form. Now I want us to be able to go